What's going on, everyone? Yeah, I know. We got some stuff to talk about. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And yes, as you can tell from the beginning clip of this video, I do have a new camera, and I'm going to kind of get into that in this video. That's what this video is going to be primarily about. To set this up just a little bit, I want to let you know that I did unfortunately sell my Canon EOS M6 Mark II, the camera that I've been using since basically the beginning of this channel and the What Blows My Turbo channel, and all of the accessories and stuff that I had with that camera to be able to purchase the camera that I'm recording with right now. The camera that I have purchased, if you haven't been able to tell so far from the beginning clip, is the Panasonic LUMIX S5. With that being said, I do think that this camera is going to match up pretty well with my GH5. It shoots all of the same recording quality. You know, you can do pretty much everything the GH5 does, but people also call this a mini S1H or an S1, and that also is pretty much true. It uses the exact same CMOS full frame sensor that the S1 and the S1H uses. With that being said, I needed a good hybrid camera to shoot with my client business because my client-based work is basically 50-50 split right down the middle. You know, a lot of my work is photography work and a lot of my work is video work. So I needed a camera that could shoot in many different video situations, and we all know that the GH5 isn't very good in low light situations. With this being a full frame sensor, the low light capabilities is just going to be a little bit better. Also, with this being a full frame camera and more light being able to get into the sensor, and the fact that like aperture of a 2.8 is actually a 2.8 on a full frame sensor, it's going to make it a lot easier to get that shallow depth of field like you can see behind me right now. As you can see, I'm really in focus and everything behind me is pretty blurred out, and it gives it more of a filmic, people call it cinematic look. But let's get into the reason why I'm making this video today, to let you know that this camera is absolutely fantastic when it comes to shooting photography. So I haven't got to shoot a lot of video with this camera yet. Some scheduling issues between me and my partner at What Blows My Turbo, Emery Joe Earls. We haven't really been able to get up together and shoot a video for that channel in the last couple weeks. But we are going to get back to it next week. We have been uploading like shorts and stuff like that on the channel to kind of make do for the time and give people something to watch. And he's a really funny guy, so if you haven't checked out What Blows My Turbo, you should check it out. Emery Joe Earls is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, what I want to talk about in this video is the photography capabilities of this camera. To my knowledge, it has the same settings in photography mode as the GH5. It can shoot, you know, single shot, burst shot, it can shoot in 6K, time lapse, but with the full frame sensor, everything just looks so much more detailed. And I'm going to show you a few pictures that I have taken since I've gotten the camera. I haven't taken a whole lot, like I just haven't been able to use the camera a whole lot yet, but I did want to make this video and like show you what this image looks like. So let's get into it. So last weekend when I very first got this camera, I took a couple photos of one of my guitar players from my band, Timothy Falwell, who also once again is a photographer from North Carolina, who was actually the photographer that I showcased in my first episode of Life Through a Lens. These are the photos that I've taken of him, just two quick photos just in my front yard of my house. But if you pay attention to the detail in his skin and like just how clear and crisp everything is, you can understand just why I think that this camera is a great camera to take photos with. Like, look at this photo here, how I put a foreground element in. So the foreground's blurred out, he's perfectly in focus, and then his background's blurred out. It's one of those things that just very pleasing to the eye, and so far, I'm really enjoying this camera. Now, a couple other photos that I took was just some really random candid photos of my two dogs. This first one I took is of my dog Piggy, and it's crazy. Like, if you look real closely, you can see the whiskers and everything, all the details in the dog's face, her eyes. It's just an absolutely beautiful image. Same thing with my other dog. This dog's name is Ivy. And once again, you can see all the details in her hair, her whiskers, her eyes, and and it's just a very captivating image. So the other day, after taking these photos, I wanted to kind of take some pictures of some different textures. So I took the camera around, just random things in my yard, and I snapped a couple photos of like this birdhouse in my front yard to kind of show you the different textures of the wood and the sandpaper roof and stuff like that. Also decided to snap a picture of some different plant life in the yard. So I took a picture of this leaf, and as you can see all the little lines and stuff in the leaf. And if you look really carefully, you can see the little hair fibers that actually are on the leaf. I also took a picture of a dandelion up close just to show you like the inside of the little fluff ball and like all the fluffiness around it and just how clear and crisp the photo really is. I also decided to take a picture of like some of the rocks around the flower beds of my house just to be able to show you the different textures in the granite and like just how crazy and clear the photos are. And that's why I purchased this camera. I knew that going into this, that this camera could basically do the same things that the GH5 can do. But whenever it comes to the photography of this camera, as much as I love the GH5 just cannot do the same thing that this camera does. But yeah, I plan on doing a video with this camera where I do like some point of view photography. I have a GoPro Hero 7 Black Edition with a hot shoe mount, so that way I can mount it to the top of my camera. I also have a chest mount. Whichever one ends up looking the best, I will do. But I really want to do a video where I do some point of view photography and I actually take you around the town that I live in and take some pictures of some of the things that really define the area that I live. But yes, anyone that is thinking about purchasing this camera that might be a little on the fence, I'll let you know now, for the price and value of this camera, it is absolutely worth it. Right now you can buy the body of the camera alone for about $1,700, and you can actually get a pretty nice kit lens with the camera if you pay just a little bit more money, something like $2,100, and you'll receive a 20 to 60 millimeter kit lens. And that kit lens can actually take some pretty good photos and capture some really good video. But for me, when it came to my setup, I decided to just get the camera only because I wanted to buy some other things for it. So the setup that I'm actually using right now is I have a small rig full body cage for the S5, and I have the Sigma 24 to 70 millimeter DG DN art lens f2.8. So far, it's great. I think that a 24 to 70 millimeter lens is absolutely perfect focal range for any photographer or videographer. You know, it will definitely get you through what you need to get through day to day with the camera, especially for the time being. The only other things that I would really like to get for this camera for the time being is maybe a 24 millimeter fast prime, maybe like a 1.8 or 1.4 or something like that. And then I would also like to get maybe some more portrait style lenses. I'd like to get like an 85 millimeter. I know that Panasonic LUMIX makes a really good 85 millimeter that my buddy Paul did a review of. I'm going to give you a link to his channel in the description if you want to check that out. He's also a photographer and videographer from North Carolina. And then really the only thing I want to get is like a telephoto lens, something that's maybe like 70 millimeter to 200 or a 100 to like 300 or something like that. So that way I can take advantage of things like taking pictures of things that's really far away and still having it be absolutely beautiful, clear, and crisp. I would like to get some better audio equipment for taking videos with basically all my cameras. Especially what blows my turbo. Like when I'm doing this, my little rinky-dink, like not expensive, like I think like $27 shotgun mic does fine. Right now what I'm thinking about audio-wise, I'm thinking about getting the Rode Wireless Go 2 because it comes with 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. So that way I can mic 2 people at once and get really good audio quality out of it. But in the future, I definitely want to get into booming microphones and getting like the absolute best quality audio that I can possibly get. I know that audio is just as important, if not more important. So I am completely aware of the fact that that's really important and that's something that I need to focus on. But for the time being, I don't think that what I'm creating is bad by any means. And quite frankly, I'm pretty excited about the quality of the work that I'm able to do, especially after, you know, not even uploading on YouTube for a year yet. And I'm very blessed that I'm able to do this, you know, Doing this as a job was a complete dream come true. I come from a furniture manufacturing background, and getting out of that and being able to do something that I'm passionate about is just, it's a dream. And I'm so grateful, and like I said, I feel blessed, and I'm very thankful for the opportunities that I have received. Oh, and I would just like to say, the people that have viewed that GH5 video have absolutely smashed it. I mean, you have absolutely blown my expectations out of the water. I have like 276 subscribers, and the only video that I have that's over 1,000 views is a music video that my band put out. And now my GH5 video, it's over 1,600 views, and it's still growing every day. And I am so thankful that people really connected with that video, and that it's something that they really enjoyed. So thank you. Thank you so much. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to see more stuff like this, you know, think about hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up button, and comment below, because I interact with everyone. I love talking to everyone that wants to talk to me. So let's build this community, because that's what it's all about. Let's build this community. Let's do it. But with all of that being said, I just wanted to kind of showcase what this camera can do photography-wise, because honestly, it is a great hybrid camera for video and photography. And if anybody like me does client work and they do any kind of split between video and photography, I would definitely suggest that you think about purchasing this camera, because it will definitely take care of all of your needs. My name is Philip Gibson. Thank you for tuning in. Stay focused and capture everything. Take it easy.